All right, friends, take a look at this. The Rust-Oleum gel strikes again. I thought, hey, spray it on this thing and see what happens. And it went from brown to green. I don't know if I'm sold on it though, because it definitely, you can see like we're down to bare metal in places. That was there because they obviously heated it with a torch or something. If there had been more paint left, it would be really impressive. Right here, it's really impressive. I mean, if I worked on that a while, that little spot right there would really super shine. But it did make a big difference, especially over here, because this side of the tractor was super duper rusty. And I ran out of stuff. If I'd had a little more, I could probably get that even better. So yes, it does work. It's amazing stuff, but tread lightly, I guess, because now I really need to do, I ran out and I need to do the fenders, because you can see the fenders are not, you know. But overall, I guess this improved it. Doesn't really matter, because I've always said I was going to repaint it anyway, so we might enjoy it like this for a while and then get to that. But that is neither here nor there. What we're going to do right now is we're going to try to get hooked up to that pull type combine. He's ready right now for wheat. I could go over there right now and run a square, but I don't know that I'm going to make it, quite honestly. I just don't think I can swing it anymore tonight. So we might have to sit this one out and wait till he does his rye, or not rye, what does he call that? Oats. He's got some oats. So we might get in on the oats, but at any rate, we need to get hooked up first before we decide what's happening. So we're gonna get started on that right after this. Welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Ross the Oliver Man. And we're gonna take this here Super 88 and hook to that Moline combine. It is so humid though, it just makes you not want to do anything that you don't have to do. And I don't have to do this, so it's hard to motivate myself to do that thing. I just noticed something strange. Did somebody drill an extra hole in the drawbar in places? Because that drawbar doesn't have as many holes as... That's kind of bizarre, really. And what made me think that is because that one is not centered right. So that's strange. Whatever. The more you know, the things you learn. We're gonna see if this will even fire back up on its own. We were having struggles with flying creatures and whatnot. There's one of them now. Been hanging around here. I guess he's still ticked off that his house isn't there. Oh, what are the chances of that? Yes, if you haven't noticed, we're on a hill. So that makes hooking things up more difficult. So if you shut the tractor off, you might have a chance. What we're gonna do, besides struggle eternally, we're gonna go pull it in the shade. And then hopefully we can enjoy life. We need to back up a little though. No. Oh yeah, our poor pin is getting less and less appropriately straight. Oh, we're missing our whatever we had in there. Okay. We need to find a pin for our power takeoff. That's not right. That's not good. Let's see if that. Oh yeah. All right. Imagine that. None of the stuff wrong with it has fixed itself. That ain't good there. Bird's nest. Dang it. All right. I'd say it'll run. So that might be as much attention as we give it. I need to really, I think I slid the drawbar over. Of course, this one doesn't have all the holes like we just discovered. So you like how when you want to do something, every little thing starts acting up? Got a fuel leak here. So that's wonderful. With the way that fitting is, I don't know how I'm gonna get it tight with it on the tractor. It's gonna be a real Knutson. All right, I took the side panel loose so I could get my arm in there to shut the gas off. Now I guess what I'll do is take the carburetor off so I can get it out this way a little bit and tighten that up and make her go. I don't like that, but I don't have time to change it now. I've been meaning to do that and never got it done. You know, somebody has added in this extra sediment bowl, and I don't think we need it. I mean, the fuel looks beautiful everywhere. I mean, I've never had it on this tractor where it looked like it was dirty, so I don't know if he just was thinking it would be easier, or if he had trouble at one time, or what. I hope you can see there, because that's the best I can do. Those are 1/2 inch. I should have brought a 1/2 wrench, but I didn't see it laying there easy, so I didn't do that thing. I brought the one-size-fits-all wrench. Also, the red pliers are missing in action again. I don't know where they are. They might be in the pickup and fell to the floor or something, but that's fine. We don't need that right now. Right now, all we gotta do is this, which then in turn will probably destroy our gasket. And then we'll be hosed and we'll have to spend a 1/2 hour looking for a gasket. I mean, he's being nice and letting me play with the stuff, so I hate to hold him up is what I'm getting at. So if we can't get this done, that's fine. We will. He's got those oats. We can try to play with this in oats. All right. Uh-oh. I just pulled my choke out of the thing. I didn't want to do that. Wonder how bad I did. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, pull it out of the holder. Whatever. We'll deal with that in a minute. See here, it looks like somebody, instead of using tape, tried to use some of that other pipe thread sealer that everybody says I should use. But guess what? It leaks. So I wouldn't want that stuff myself. If you use some common sense with this tape, it's just fine. You don't even have to use that good of common sense with this tape. It's still fine. Uh-oh. That felt like it got awfully easy. Did I split the fitting? I think I did, didn't I? That's why it was leaking. No wonder. I don't think I split it. I think it was split the whole time. And that's why it was leaking. So now, friends, we are hosed. We just got a much more difficult project ahead of us, because that is in fact split along the entire length. So, does Ross have a 1/8 inch pipe thread coupler? It's gonna be the trick. And if I don't, then I'm gonna have to make a different fuel line, in which case we're probably done for today, because I've just about had enough. Let me think on this though a minute. What are the chances I could get this fitting out of this? We're working on trying to put it back to original if all of the pieces will play nice. The next piece is going to be, can Ross get the fuel line straightened out? I think yes. The third portion is going to be, can he get this fitting out? See, that would be tight. We want loose. I think we can do it, friends. And we're finally going to eliminate that ridiculous extra thing in there. And then it'll probably start acting up and we're going to wish we had it back. See, that side is pipe thread. And the other side is last minute nonsense repairs. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. I think we can work with that. Now we got to fix our choke cable. That's gonna be an ordeal, I bet you. Let me get another screwdriver. Let's take this loose. We're gonna inevitably have everything loose now. I didn't want to have to do that, but let's just take this loose too. It's almost, why did that fail? Probably because the coating came off of that. Yeah, that's what happened. Now, let's make double sure that the choke's all the way in. And if I pull on it, it's gonna go choke. And then all the way out again. Alright. I'll put this pin back in. Alright. Yeah, you can tell I've done a few of these, huh? Put that hose in last. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good. If we can just get the fuel line connected up, we'll be in business. Hopefully the fuel line's not cracked. Tighten this back up. I am struggling, friends. It's so hot. It's miserable. Now there'll be some goofy thing like it won't want to run, or the governor won't work right, or something because we disturbed it. It's worked perfectly all this time. I have turned very little wrenches on this tractor in the grand scheme of things. I guess I did put a radiator in, but that was the most involved thing I did. There's a tag from that radiator hose. We can get rid of that. Wire. Let's put that back on. Now we gotta tighten our fuel line. Hopefully we can get that tight enough, because this style stuff I never usually like. I don't know. Turn on the gas. If no gas is dripping, we might have it fixed. All right, I dug around and I thought I had a new pin, so we're gonna hope that that works. And if it does, then I need to order more, because that was my last one. All right, good deal. Yeah, so I think they come in a pack of 3, so I'll just order another one of those. But we should be about as good as we can be. I need to call them and make sure that there's still a patch for me to play in, and then we'll get going. Well, before I drag this whole rig over there, I think we're gonna drive over with the pickup and see what the situation is, because I don't want to have to move this combine for no reason. I kind of told him that I didn't know if I'd make it, so if he felt like he was waiting on me to just go ahead and finish, and then I'd catch it on the oats but I don't know. This is all for you, the viewer, because right now I just don't like, I don't really know if I want to do this. It is fun, but when it starts feeling like a lot of work, like today has been, then it's not as much fun. And the trailer's still hooked up, so I'm just gonna take it with me. You know, why? Why not? Why should I unhook it like a normal person when I could just drag it along with me? Sure. Does Sadness Acres strike again? What's the matter now? It's getting too tough towards evening, isn't it? See, that's what I'm afraid of with that old combine. I finally got it ready, but I don't know if I want to drag it down here or not. I didn't want to hold you up though, so. I really want to play with it, but I don't know. I just know what's coming. It's going to be
I want to go cut oats. I'm tired of this. This is the worst wheat crop I've ever had.
Really? Not making anything or what?
It's making wheat, but there's so many empty spots out there. I'm mowing more hay than anything. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I think it'll like the little combine will do oats too, but I mean, I don't know. I might run down here and see if I can do it. I don't know.
I don't care.
But
I left you the better stuff.
really, some stupid green weeds, though.
Yeah.
That makes it miserable when you cut, you know.
There's grass. You can't tell standing here. There's grass out there.
Too much rain, that's what happens.
Yeah.
I mean, the news guy said, like, the longest, he had a list of the longest stretches we've had without rain, and it was like 2 days at a time. Yeah. Like, you know. So, I don't know. So you got it unplugged now or not?
Almost.
Well,
as hot as I am, I really don't care if I get it unplugged or not.
I know, the humidity makes it miserable. That's what I said too. I was about over it. Nothing was working. Everything I tried. Then the tractor started leaking gas. I got to looking and the fitting split for no reason. So I had to take it apart and make it something different. I mean, I don't know.
You know, if you want to go dig your Amish hat out and go try it, go for it.
I might have to.
I'm sure it'll be standing there tomorrow.
All right, ready for the part that I love, which is moving equipment down the road. Especially when it's wider than the road. Sobriety checkpoint. Sure. might as well fly the drone also while we're doing this, so I gotta get it set up. there's a little bit on the other end I gotta go get. It wasn't cut quite square as usually things go, you know. There's always a little bit on one end. But when I get this, then my part's done. He's having trouble with his red combine, so he came driving by holding a broken belt, so. Boy, she don't sound good, does she? I still haven't figured out what that noise is. One of these days it'll break and then we'll know. You got a belt? That's good. Good deal.
You can go play it.
That's what I figured you'd say, but
I don't care. If you want to play, go play.
I also wonder if it's those, like, see how that one's got a ripple in it? I wonder if that thing's hitting sometime on the feeder house chain, because that thing should technically, it should have some kind of floating to it, kind of.
Yeah.
You know, like they usually do, but maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Never have figured it out yet, but I figure when it breaks, then we'll know what it was.
Yep,
then we can fix it. Look at all them little...
Oh, our fish full of them grasshoppers.
Yeah, but when we used to do wheat, like, they were big grasshoppers, so that's weird that
Climate change.
I guess they shrunk. Man. Yeah, we'd have that old 55 John Deere, and you could see through the cab glass into the grain tank, and it was just covered with them things. Big little grasshoppers, you know.
Well, you're going to have to get some tractors ready now, because I don't get all my beans planted, it rains and rains and gets late. We're going to have a plow day somewhere.
That'd be fun. I mean, there's been enough rain, this ground will probably stay soft.
Well, I mean, we plowed this one year.
Really?
Yeah, it ain't been that long ago. We run the white, and I had the Alice, because I run the...
Yeah. That's when the tire blew on that other one, huh? On that 5-bottom plow?
No, it blew down below the house. If I'm close, I just fuck I'm Amish.
Steel wheel.
I'm thinking about just cutting the oats down there. I've been there, look, there's so much fescues come up in them things.
I know, too much rain.
Well, and it should have been a week ago. I don't know if last time it rained, if that grass got a hold of like all that nitrogen.
And maybe it did.
Sprung for, I mean, they're good down there, but you know, I'm just gonna feed them.
Well, somehow we made it without meeting any cars. I am super impressed. And this little combine just impresses me every time. I mean, I've really done nothing to it, and it just gives, you know. It needs some maintenance, I think. We need to shorten up some chains a little bit and give it a little bit of love. We just never got that far, and like I said, this year we just never had time. I was intending to have plenty of time to work on this and other tractors and combines and stuff, and I mean, we just got done planting, or at least I did. He's still gonna try to do some double crop beans, but he can borrow his boss's no-till setup and do it, so he's gonna no-till it in that stuff. He planted those oats, but he said, I don't know if he said that on camera or not, but he said they just didn't really, whether it was worth it to combine them or not. He might just hay bind them down and bale it as straw, because we just had too much rain. I mean, and like he said, a week would have made a lot of difference. If we could have been doing this a week ago or 2 weeks ago, there would have been a lot less weeds in the stuff. So that's just how it goes. I have to say, I was on the fence about this paint after doing it, but I think I kind of like it. I mean, that's original paint. It's not good, but it was super rusty before. So at least it's kind of greenish now. It did a good job on the wheels. If I take those weights off, it'll be rusty underneath, because I didn't, you know what I mean. But I can live with this. I don't know if I want to order a set of stickers to put on there so it looks like new stickers on there. I probably want to get some more of that stuff and try to make it a little bit better. See if I can get a little bit more of that rust out of there. I'd say I probably could if I just had the stuff and left it sit for a while. But there are places that there's nothing. I mean, it's bare metal. I could maybe try to wire wheel that up and hit it with a little paint in that spot or something. Looks like the nose had a rough life. Almost like they brush painted over a bad injury there. I don't know, putting that stuff on revealed more character on it that I didn't know was there. More damage, or whatever you want to say. But I still like it. This is one of my favorites. It's been a good one. It doesn't owe me a thing. It had practically new tires on it all the way around, and it's just been awesome. I did a few little improvements, but other than that, it's just been a workhorse. It's done all kinds of stuff, bush hog and grind feed and whatever. We don't need the flashing lights, I guess, sitting in the driveway. But no, the Super 88 gas, that's a win. I'm glad I bought that. Our fuel fix worked too. It's not leaking. All that splotching and stuff is actually where some of that stuff got scattered, because I used the power washer to wash it off. And the places that it stuck, it dissolved the rust, like on the manifold, and it dissolved spots on the fender. So I need to get more to finish all that stuff. But that Rust-Oleum stuff is pretty amazing, I have to say. I cannot complain. It really brought this side back around. This side was horrible, and it was rough to the touch, and it's almost like it even smoothed it out a lot. Like, I don't know. Good stuff. I got a little bit on that brass and it shined it up again. I need to wipe some on the whole thing, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed some of this. This is always fun. I like pull type combines. I mean, this is a lot of fun. Don't ask me why, it just is. So hopefully, I do have another one coming that I bought last year. And it's been sitting up there, and I talked to him here a while back, and we're trying to get together on a time when he can bring them on his gooseneck. And anyway, he brought that, and I bought a, what was it, a 100 wire tie baler, which I always thought were super cool. So we'll have some more implements to play with, hopefully. That Oliver combine, I think, has its own engine on it, but I don't think it runs. So we'll have to figure out if we can get that running, or if we need to try to convert it to PTO. It really doesn't matter if you pull it with something like this, you know, it's got the power and live PTO. But if it did have the engine on it and it was running, and it was running good, we could technically pull it with almost anything. We could pull it with an 8-in Ford if we had to, you know, or whatever. The 2-cylinder John Deere could pull it, because all the tractor would be doing was responsible for pulling the rig across the ground. It wouldn't have to, you know, run everything plus driving. We could pull it with a 66 or whatever, Super 66. So in the progression of these pull-type combines, Grandpa and his dad, they had a Woods Brothers. I'd kind of like to find one of those. That's like essentially what the Ford combine would be, Woods Brothers. And then after that, they had an Oliver pull-type combine. And then after that, they went to self-propelled stuff. But then my other great-grandpa had a Moline. He had it wasn't this model, it was the model with the round tank and canvas in the thing. And that's the thing, like the one, that's the one nice thing about this, is it doesn't have canvas anymore, so you don't have to screw with that, because that is a constant maintenance thing that you'd have to do. I know Grandma said she hated as a kid to have to sew the canvas up on those things and the binders and stuff. So, you know, this is like a modern head. The other ones used a flat piece of canvas with wooden slats, and that's what, when the crop fell on it, it would just dump it in there. So, and then they came up with these augers and fingers and stuff like that. And then the maintenance was gone, so you didn't have to worry about that. But anyway, I don't want to get rambling on. I'm glad I was able to do this today. It's a lot later in the day than I thought it was. I bet it's about 9 o'clock now. And anyway, it worked out. Yeah, 8:52. So we are done with this project for this year. After watching what you just saw, do you feel like your IQ has dropped lower than your credit score? Well, there's no reason that both of us should be miserable, so go ahead and hit that thumbs up and leave a comment. That stuff costs you nothing, and it really helps me out. Your banker may not approve, but I know mine will. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.